God, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Table Talk with uSiboniso right here on our YouTube channel, the Table Talk with uSiboniso. Thank you so much for tuning in, and to everybody who is involved in our social media handles, thank you so much, you guys. Your participation, your engagement with us is very much acknowledged, and we thank you so much. And also, if you don't know, let me give you a heads up. It's @that_T show, @that_TTT show on all social media, and right here on YouTube, it's The Table Talk with uSiboniso, one word. The Table Talk with uSiboniso. Please remember to like us, subscribe, and also hit that notification bell so that you can know every time we hit new content. Yeah, man. So as you know, right here on The Table Talk with uSiboniso, we are always accompanied by beautiful, supremely quality made tea that is the 5 Roses, because nobody makes better tea than us and 5 Roses. And today, my tea of the day, I decided to do my not so favorite, but I want to try it. It's called lemon flavored tea. I'm not into teas that have lemon and all of those things. I just prefer my original Ceylon blend. But today I'm going to try lemon flavored tea. Hopefully I'm going to enjoy it. As I make my tea, please let's welcome my guest for this afternoon or this evening, depending on when you're catching the show. They're actually a couple, but then we're going to meet them bit by bit because they're in the same field but also doing different things. Right now, please help me welcome Moses, who is a hip-hop artist, an MC, and event coordinator, as well as a graphic designer. Talk about multiple skills. Please welcome Moses. How are you? You can stand here. Great. Moses, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for pulling through.
Hi, how are you?
I am great.
I want to also say hi to the viewers, just in case I forgot to greet you all. Thank you for having us. I'm here, as you can see.
Yeah, man. Yes, you can. It's a pleasure having you. So, like I was telling my people that I'm going to be drinking lemon flavored tea, and there's so much you can choose from. Like I always said, there's green tea. What we have in stock, it's green tea, strong blend, passion fruit, passion pineapple, and I feel like the Ceylon is the original 5 Roses.
Okay.
It tastes like the original, and then the Ceylon is the strong blend is a bit of the same range but a bit stronger. If you like that strong tea.
Okay. I would probably go for something like the strong African blend.
The strong African blend. Yeah. Any reason particularly?
Reason because it's stronger. I'm into actually something stronger. Yes. Nice. Yeah. That's probably the first reason, because when you said it's stronger.
Not because there's the African in it. There's the word African in it.
Okay, maybe even
right.
that. But
so I also give people choice now. Like everybody who knows me know, I always like drinking a teacup. It just gives me that. So if you want, you can also choose a teacup, or you can just have a mug.
I don't know, mug with me. I don't think a teacup makes too much of a difference. I usually have my tea with just a normal coffee cup. I never even chose how it looks. So,
you know, you just found them at home.
And teacup. Like, okay, this is a coffee mug or a teacup, and then I'd use that. Yeah.
All right. So I think me and Moses are just gonna make our. Hopefully, this is our first cup, because me I drink about. I think in a show, I drink about 4 or 5 cups.
Okay.
So hopefully, you're also in that.
Not really.
You're not much of a Are you a tea drinker?
I am a tea drinker, but I am not really in too deep of it. Like, I drink tea once.
So you're not into it?
I'm more of a cool drink type of person, because I work.
Sugar, guys, we must cut down on sugar, man.
It's very difficult to do that. It's very difficult
guys,
to do
listen.
that.
Let's make our tea, and then we'll be back just now, guys. So a lot of people, when they come here, they always ask me, what about milk? So are you also a milk person?
Not at all.
Finally, thank God. Someone was here, I think on my first episode, someone was here and they wanted milk for this lemon flavored tea. So shocked.
I wouldn't even know how it works with milk, because I've never ever, since I've grown up, I've never taken tea with milk. Coffee, I've never taken with milk.
Is it
it's
lactose?
Always been black.
Are you lactose intolerant?
No. It has nothing to do with my milk
intake.
Yeah, but it's just me not preferring milk with tea or coffee or
Alright.
Yeah, that's just basically.
I think even before we get further into details with what we're going to be doing today, How's about letting the people at home or watching us know exactly who is Moses and all those nje?
Okay.
What is CV? In a nutshell, who is Moses?
Moses is everything. Like, I do a lot of things. I'm a rapper, I'm a producer, I am an editor, I'm a printer, I'm a graphic designer. Yeah, I do quite a lot of things, but mostly that fit in with entertainment. I work mostly with, I organize, I do events coordination, I do all sorts of things, but within the entertainment field.
So the reason of being such a person who's a multitasker, is it by choice or because this is Joe Hasselberg? You have to have your hands everywhere.
Actually, it's not by choice. It's because when you come from, I was born in the Eastern Cape. I was born in Port Elizabeth. So most of the people that are artists from elsewhere outside of Johannesburg usually come to the Joburg to try and hustle up things. But when you get here, you find that things are not as easy and you would need money for everything else. So I started as a rapper. When I got here, I needed a producer that was going to produce my songs. But then being intelligent enough and having access to equipment, I started learning how to produce very quickly, and then started seeing that, okay, now I need a music video. So can I learn this thing? Can I learn that? Can I? Then I just love reading and so forth. So sometimes I'd get someone who's doing this with me and learning with them. But at the side, I'll still be doing theories and other what is being done at school. What is being done? I'll pick up a whole school book, and I'll know that in school they're doing certain chapters. But I'll go through the whole book just for the sake of understanding everything.
So I have this quick question. Would people who know Moses from a young age say Moses is very talkative?
Yeah.
Even in school. How was Moses in school, by the way?
In school, I had people had a different perspective of me, because in school I was actually, for being this talkative, I used to rap in class and this. And how I started even the rapping thing is, it was actually supposed to be a punishment where Miss Record was supposed to be punishing me.
Okay, wait. So before you get to telling us how this rapping things, let's refresh the tea, and then we go to the lounge, and then that's where we're going to continue this. Guys, as you can see, this is going to be a very informative show today. I'm so excited. At _T show on all social medias, let us know what you think about the show today and our guests. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Thank you for noticing how my script is improving. See you now. Welcome back. This still is the Table Talk with uSiboniso right here on our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for still being tuned in. Right now, of course, we've moved into this glorious, beautiful lounge, and we're about to get deep in all things Moses, hip-hop, graphic design, events, and all of that. So before we moved from the kitchen to here, you're actually still telling us how you got into the hip-hop space.
Okay, yeah. So as I was saying, I was actually being punished for being this talkative person who's rapping at the back of the class while everybody's writing, and I'm busy writing rhymes instead of concentrating on schoolwork. So Miss Rickett decides, okay, today's assembly in about 30 minutes, you're going to tell me, you're going to get on that assembly because you always look like you're looking for a crowd. So I'm going to punish you. You're going to get there and you're going to do the things that you're doing at the back of this class. Like it was supposed to be a punishment type of thing.
Yeah.
But when I got on top of the stage, and actually when I saw you're looking at the whole school out there and you're being punished, and Puff Diddy had just released the song that I'm coming, and I knew the lyrics to the song. So I knew the lyrics to the song, and I wasn't actually rapping at the time. So when I was told, okay, Moses, go on stage, just like that, there's no beat, there's nothing, and I'm actually being punished to rap, do what you're doing in class. I started rapping, and guess what? Just after a few rhymes, the school started jumping up, and it started being an event. You know what I'm saying? So it looked so good for me because everybody's hyping me up, and actually the students are exciting. Now it turned from something that was a punishment to 2 months later, me being at the prize giving awards, the school's prize giving awards, and getting a creativity award. And then it was from there, a friend of mine, like Lutando, was close to me at the time, was like, hey man, you know what? I think we should actually do this. I think we should actually write rhymes and all of this, because then
just sorry to cut you, just to be on the shady side of life.
Yeah.
When the students or the co-learners were excited for you, everyone was screaming. Did you manage to catch a glimpse of Miss Racket somewhere and say, "One more now"?
Not really, but she was the person that made that creativity award possible. She actually pushed that, and she said, listen, I think that was very... She actually came back to me and she said, that was very creative, and I'd actually like to give you an award for that. I see why you're always doing what you do. So she was actually pretty, I can say, happy with what I was doing. And she was those type of teachers that she actually thought in the beginning, you know, white people are somewhat attentive to the type of talent that someone has.
Let's get into that. I love the tea. I love to serve the tea. White people are more attentive toward the children's creativity from a young age.
Yes.
Do you think it's a race thing, or do you think as black people we are too busy trying to fend so that we can pay rent, pay school fees, that we have no time to look at?
I think it's somewhat, I don't want to get too political with this, but
excuse me.
Somewhere it is somewhat a case of social engineering in this manner that, for instance, if you look at a black child, how it's raised, and a white child, black people, you're raising a little child, like 3-year-old, 5-year-old, you keep giving them 1 rand, 50 cents, this daily. When they go to school, they have lunch money and all that. And the way they use that lunch money, 1 rand manje, they run outside, and you're taking my chips, and then uza name pinches like if nigi 10 rand plus ge ubuya seka ukapatia seka. So now what then happens is when you get like in the white homes, because now most of the white people live in suburbs and in quiet areas. When they get that 1 rand, there's not a lot of friends around. So the perspective is, here's 2 rand for you, put it in your piggy bank so you can save for a bicycle. So from a young age, they get developed with a mind of saving. Here's daddy, can I wash the dishes so I can make 5 rand? I'm trying to fill up the money for a tricycle or for a bicycle or for this and that. So as they grow up, the mentality of saving is there. And then the black child's mentality of spending is there. So just growing up, it's already different. Now when you say white people are more attentive to detail of this, and I think it's more of the black people have a whole lot more, I think, because of the racial oppression and all this stuff, you understand. I think black people are not as attentive to their kids, I think simply because they're too distracted with other things. Yes, and then white people, it's not that they are more attentive, but yes, they tend to be more attentive that, okay, this child is like this and like this and like this. I'd much rather give him that opportunity.
So, would you say financial stability plays a major role in parenting in general?
Yes, I think it does, because, for instance, when I met this guy, Undrawongel, as a psychologist, he did a song with my son. He said to me, as a psychologist, I do a show on Moja Love. He's on Saturday. So he has a show called The Village Shrink. He said to me, Mo, you know why I did that show? It's because when I was practicing and when I was doing psychology, I've been a psychologist for like 10 years. But what is on these books and what is happening in the village, I'm the village shrink. I go to the village, and all this information that they have, it literally doesn't work when I get there. All the things that I've practiced here, the children have a whole different idea and perspective of things, and they've been taught differently. So the village, they were not exposed to what kids here are exposed to.
You know, so my director's but before we actually do that, just quickly, also the difference between isikolo saseKasi and isikolo saseSandton. Also, what difference does that play in a child's upbringing or growing, or also parenting in general? The school you decide to send your child to.
I think somewhat, if I'm answering that, I would say I somewhat thought it was different in the beginning, because I also went to white schools in the beginning. And this caused a lot of hassle when I was in high school, because I wanted to finish off high school at one of these big schools, because I thought, okay, when you're coming out of a great school, like I was in Port Elizabeth at the time, I'm thinking, okay, if I'm coming out of Grey or out of Westering or all these white schools, I might have better opportunities in terms of when I get to a workplace and I say, I'm from Grey High School.
Yes.
That would actually play a better role. But then I found out that no, sometimes it's not actually like that. Sometimes going to Schola Sisekasi, and sometimes that can be very motivational for a child, for the fact that, listen, Sekasi, and I want to make it to there, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes it can be a different role, and sometimes, for instance, kids like me, I grew up in a white suburb and all that stuff, and I take things lightly.
Yeah.
So when I'm in school, I'm like, okay, I just want to finish school and this. And that child, Lo Sekasi, he actually wants to get way further than I am because he's motivated. He doesn't have half of the stuff that I have access to at home. You get what I'm saying? So he has. So I think it's more of a motivation thing than it is more of an education.
Yes,
yeah. So
privilege.
I think it's man. I think it's not just about privilege. Yes, there is a better education somewhere somehow. Yes, because I did find that when I was in standard 8, I had to go to a Kasi from
standard
school,
8, grade 10.
Grade 10.
Okay.
It's things have changed.
Listen, before you continue that, let's take a quick break. I am not enjoying my tea. Continuity, floor manager, my tea is cold. We'll be back after this. Table Talk with uSiboniso right here on our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for staying tuned. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing. Also, thank you so much for taking part on our social media pages at @_T show. That's where you can interact and engage with us. So guys, also would just like to let you know that our studio is in fact right here in the heart of Soweto at the Funda Community College. And if you know Funda Community College, you know it's very educational and such a multi-purpose area. So do not be shocked when you hear some strange noises in the background because there's other events happening. But other than that, let's get back to the interview with Moses, our hip-hop events coordinator, graphic designer extraordinaire. Okay, so going back to the part when we were talking about hip-hop. In the hip-hop space, there's the MCs, there's the rappers, there's the cats, there's the speeters, there's the lyricists. Yes. Can you break down all of that? I know it's a whole year's worth, but can you just give us summaries of all of that umbrella?
Okay, I think all of the things you just mentioned are just one thing, just mentioned different ways.
Okay.
But yeah, pretty much, MCs, spitters. I think all these names just, I can just say pseudonyms of the word rapper, just different names of saying, listen, I'm a rapper, I rap because I'm talking, I'm spitting, so it becomes I'm a spitter, I'm an MC, a master of the ceremony.
Yes.
So it's just different ways of saying that I'm a stage person. You understand? So all the names around the rappers, the MCs, the names you just said, they just basically mean the same thing to me. But that's pretty much it.
I've seen even on mainstream, there's always been this argument between people in the hip hop world where there's people who are MCs and there's people who are rappers, but then now there's a level of consciousness or consciousness that then comes to play, and then you are no longer a rapper, you are just an underground. Also in the underground, you're not underground when you're not conscious or when you're not cautious about what you say. Okay. Yeah. Actually, let me make this question specific. What defines an underground cat?
Okay, Let me just try to be quick with everything.
Yes.
So what defines an underground, and it's usually commercial and underground. So I would say it like this. If you're underground, you're more of someone who is, when you rap, most raps are usually about real stuff that you do, and you communicate mostly educationally, most of them. Some of them they give out a certain consciousness, but you don't have to be.
So would you say it's to me from the volume before it became Stogie T?
Yes.
Okay.
I can say you can rap underground and talk about killing people and about like other gruesome things. That still doesn't take away from the underground. I think what separates the line is more that when you say commercial, a commercial, look at the word. It's a commercial. It's an advert. So most of the people that are doing more commercial music, they will align with big companies and try to sell things. So when Rick Ross or whoever comes in and says, I'm in a new Bugatti, they are selling a Bugatti there. It's a commercial. It's an advert. It doesn't matter. Most of these artists
Killian Forbes and this vodka.
And all of those with Casper Nyovest and the new drip and all of that. And most of the artists, the commercial artists, if you listen deep, there's always brands that they are selling. It doesn't matter, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, all of these. So they are commercially, they are selling. There are people that, company will come to me and say, hey Moses, listen, I need you to do a song about Puma. I need you to find a way to fiddle and put it inside your lyrics, and I'm endorsing, like it's like an endorsement deal. We'll pay you so much. And so now you're doing this, hence they say do it for the cash or do it for, now they're paying me to write rhymes. And then the underground artist is more about, I want to write rhymes to teach kids. I just want to write rhymes to tell real stories that happen. We understand. So now you're not more commercially driven or money driven. You write because you have a certain purpose to fulfill. Also,
in the music industry, there's independent artists. There's artists that are signed to their labels.
Yes.
Would you say that it doesn't make sense for somebody who recognizes as an underground artist to be signed to a particular label, because then you need to be somewhat conscious of what you're saying because you're signed, or there's actually labels that sign underground cats?
Okay, yeah, there's a lot of labels that work with underground, just purely underground artists, but sometimes it's difficult to say underground because any label has to sell music. The whole point is to sell music. Some labels, it's actually a business. So if a company comes in like that represents the underground culture, like a skateboarding company or whatever, and it says, listen, we would like you just to put these things on. And you can rap whatever you rap, but we would like you to wear the brand. Can you still be considered somebody who's got street cred? Listen, now 10 years in the game, you've been spitting, you've been rhyming underground, you know, and
we
then
know
you sign.
And not you sign, maybe one day you hit a deal with
Universal,
with Skate, whatever, those brands that are and then they say we want you to put us in that thing. It is a good idea to do that, or could you lose your street cred within?
It depends on how you're gonna go about it. If you change the type of music, because sometimes you can integrate anything into the music and make it sound good. There's people that are that good that can take something that was supposed to be commercially viable, or they can talk about a Porsche and sell the Porsche. And the underground art, feel not only the beat, because sometimes it's not only the lyrics that matter. Sometimes it's the beat as well. There's a producer behind that. So it's like a whole team, just like in a set. There's a whole lot of people that work. So a lot of people, just because they see the artist, they think it's only the artist's effort, and it's never like that. 80% of the time you'll find that for me to put that song together, I had to go to a friend of mine and I said, listen, I need you to lay down bases for this. I've got a bass line like this. And then I go to a certain producer and say, hey, listen, I need you to take that bass line, put it together.
So when making an underground track, underground artist, do you then need to go to all these other people who are in underground, or they just need to understand the energy of producing?
Yeah, sometimes you get a producer in studio, in a commercial studio, who's, for instance, look at Kulichana. Kulichana was signed and but when he dropped the Tswada track, that was an underground beat. I think that was created because that guy said, I think I once heard him in an interview say, I created this beat a long time ago, and Kulichana was flipping through the beats, and then he heard these beats like, this is fresh, this is fire. And then he went on that. And that beat alone, not the lyrics, that beat alone related a lot to the underground.
Yes,
and we were like, this is what we felt as underground artists.
Do you recognize as underground artists, by the way? You yourself personally?
Me, yes, I'm mostly recognized as like what we were speaking about now. I'm currently working on a project that's set to be commercial, as in what we were saying commercial to be. There's a couple of people that I've tagged team with. This is going to be the first time I'm experimenting outside of the underground, but I've worked with artists that don't consider themselves underground. I've produced with producers.
Where's the money? Between the two, where's the money?
The money is always in the commercial. It'll always be there.
Yeah.
That's why I think there's that little thin line whether when you're underground they say you're doing it for the love, and when you're commercial they say you're doing it for the cash.
Yes.
Because that's where the money is. The cash is in the commercial music.
You sold out.
Yeah. That's what that's funny is the project that I'm working on is called Sold Out. It's supposed to be ambiguous in a way that says sold out as in I sold out, but I want to sell out the music. So I might have sold out,
but you want to sell
but
out.
it's actually about selling out the music. Because what's the use? I felt like I've done a lot of projects for underground, but now it's time to get other people onto technically I have a different way of doing things, but I want a whole lot of people to hear the music. I want to reach the people, and at the end of the day I'm a musician.
And you still want to make money.
I want to make money, but as far as music's concerned, I don't want to make a lot. I want to make money with music, but that's not the aim. I do music as a hobby. That's the one thing you should.
Right, you do music as a hobby.
Yes.
We're not for a quick break, and then when you come back, we're gonna talk graphic designing, and I also want us to talk a little bit about hip hop and graffiti. Those two, because they're always aligned, guys.
That's way.
Me again. Your shout out to 5 Roses. Your lemon tea is actually nice. I'm going for my third one. We'll be back now. I hope you guys are enjoying this. Yeah, man. Peace. Welcome back. This is still the Table Talk with uSiboniso, right here, of course, on our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for still being part of the show. Just before we went to ad break, I wanted you to explain or to kind of take us through the connection between hip hop and graffiti, or not graphic design, graffiti in general. What's the connection between the two?
With hip hop and graffiti, I think hip hop and graffiti connection is when I think both of them started in the Bronx, but a whole lot of brothers were sort of using what you call these small radios with the cassette player, these 2 tapes,
boom boxes.
These boom boxes, that's the word I'm looking for. So those boom boxes, people used to pump their hip hop, and this is in NY, and they used to paint walls and all of that. So I think that's where they sort of met, and if you see graffiti and how it looks and the type of fonts that they use, that's what's being used in hip hop. They'll use graffiti fonts and all that type of stuff. I think it's because they were listening to that type of music as they were painting, and because I can't really tell you that it's like people that would ask me how skateboarding fits with hip hop.
But skateboarding doesn't fit with hip hop. It fits with heavy rock. Heavy metal.
I'm surprised. The new era.
Well, the new era, of course, everything with the new era is very strange. Okay, let's quickly get into events coordination. What do you do there? Is it your own company? Do you work for an events coordination company?
Or with events, basically it is our own company. It's not me alone. It's me, it's Uneek, and it's a guy from Cape Town called Zolani Silenga. We started a company called DaInsane Production, and that didn't start there, but I'm just saying now when you're asking about the company, events are done by DaInsane Production. 3 of us, me, Uneek, and this guy called Zolani. I did events I did a lot of small events, training things, like for instance, like Ipelecheng, I did an events course. In Port Elizabeth, I did an events course. I was doing administration at an art center, and I was doing it quite in a few places. I did a few colleges, I did a few things. I did music Mayday, I did quite a few things while studying events and music. And then I met Uneek, and then we decided, listen, since we're into events, let's just work together. And just pull it off and try to get rappers and try to build a fan base, so we can actually, since we do events, because the money is in the events and music, so we can actually be the artist and bring big events as well. You understand that?
I actually also want to get into relationships and working together in the same business, but I think that I'll ask Uneek. So we're gonna be in the kitchen doing what we do best. We'll be back after this. Yeah, man. Welcome back, guys. This still is the Table Talk with uSiboniso right here on our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining in, and if you've still been watching, thank you so much for having continued. We really appreciate your data and everything else. Okay, so what I'm doing here, actually, this is my tomato sauce. So what I did, I actually used canned tomatoes. Now here's the trick with using canned tomato or anything canned. Always add the fresh element of that canned thing, whatever it is, whether it's tomatoes, whether it's peas, add a fresh element of that so that you can get that jumjila. So that's just the sauce here, onions frying. Then after that I added my yellow and red pepper. That's what's happening here. So in here is where the meatballs are going to go in, and then just my rice here. So actually what I'm going to do, let me wait for the waiter. So I've already pre-washed my rice before I actually cooked it. That's what I prefer to do. I prefer to pre-wash my rice, then cook it. Right. And then over here, this is the mince. What I've added here is just the spices, all my spices, the raja, the chicken spices, the black pepper. Of course, the number one, if you know me, you know. You know, Sla, Benny baby, every time Sla, you know. Okay, so my guest is going to come mix this together, and then she's going to turn these into meatballs. Talking of my guest, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the other half of my first guest. She's also a hip-hop artist. She's also into events coordination. She also add on to that marketing and PR. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Uneek. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good. You look shocked, surprised.
No, I'm not.
All right, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming.
Sure.
All right.
Good.
So again, as you know, well, I'm sure you wouldn't know, but as my people know, all those that come to my place, before you eat, you work for the eating. So I'm gonna before we start, let me actually just give you a brownie.
Okay.
Yes.
So are we cooking?
Yeah, I go. All right. So what you're gonna do for me, Uneek? Are you ready to get your hands in everything?
So
for sure.
As long as I get to wash them.
Okay, Nyanga East, Cape Town, known for all the negative things. What do you mean by that?
I mean, people get murdered every day. I mean, Nyanga East in my hood. So can I start?
Yes. So what I've added then, I've added all the spices here that I've mentioned to the people, and then you're just gonna mix that into. Let me give you a proper spoon.
Only we have Benny.
Benny is the number one, is the key.
We don't have that in Cape Town.
Alright, guys.
We don't.
Don't you have my friends in Cape Town?
We don't have Benny though.
About my friend, they don't have Benny.
They sell beef stock. So
okay, so you're still telling us from Nyanga East area?
Yeah, I'm from Nyanga East. Nyanga East has been known to be South Africa's murder capital. Is that, and last I checked, we were number 8 in the world in murder.
In the world?
In the world. along those Colombians, and Mexicans, and whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's always good to come out of Nyanga and come out with something positive.
Yes.
We always applaud that in Nyanga. So some of us, we don't use the guns. It's not everybody that uses the guns. It's just the majority.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna advise you with this, I think now it's time for you to use your hand.
Do we have eggs?
Yeah, well, here we go.
All right.
So I think for this portion, we're just gonna crack in 1 egg.
Yeah, I can crack an egg. You know how to do that.
Okay, so you're just gonna mix those.
Yeah.
When you feel like it's already mixed, then you just make them into consistent size. You can choose your own size of meatballs you want. Then put them there on the side, and then we're gonna throw them in there. Okay, while she's doing that, I think my rice, in fact, it's been long ready, overdue. I've already salted it. I've already put in my oil. So now what I'm gonna throw in there is spice for rice. What I actually wanted to put here was ibori, but I didn't get ibori because I really wanted it to be that color. A whole sachet of spice for rice will do. Right. So how did you end up into the hip hop industry or in the hip hop game?
Oh God, I guess my hip hop life was, I think it was foreseen even before I was born. Because when I started rapping, few people don't believe this. I didn't know there were South African rappers Seriously, I didn't know that there were people in South Africa that rapped.
Yes.
But I used to listen to a lot of hip hop, and I felt like this is me. You know, I have a lot to say, and I started writing. And I used to write a lot of songs when I started writing. But I grew as an artist. Started rapping in 1990.
You started rapping in 1990 with the likes of?
I was alone.
Yeah. I mean, okay. Back then, who were the big people that were inspiring you to get into?
I was very inspired by MOP.
Mm-hmm.
I was also inspired by. I used to love Biggie Smalls a lot.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, but at that time, I loved Death Squad. Who else? And Dog Pound.
Dog Pound is
loved Dog Pound. So hence my hip hop turned out.
When you say Dog Pound, you mean former Snoop Dogg?
Yeah, Dog Pound was Corrupt and Death. But they were, when you say Snoop Dogg, you have an idea of who the Dog Pound is. Yeah, but it consisted of two members, Corrupt and Death. So I used to identify a lot with them. Yeah.
And then the marketing part, how did that evolve?
Actually, I've been doing this for a while without even going to school for it. Sometimes you just have a knack for things, and then you approach people. So, as you know, I don't know if we told you this, but we relocated last year to Johannesburg. I'm not sure, it was October or so. Yeah. We got a place in Soweto. Now, while I was there, a new lounge opened. It's an up-class lounge in the center of Soweto.
Yes.
So I approached them. I went to them. I said, I can market the place. I can run your communications, PR, and all that. And they didn't have any idea who was going to do that. And I seemed like I could, so they let me try. Yeah. And I've been with them ever since. So I do all their PR and marketing, communications, social media, all that. Yeah. So so that's how it was born.
Amazing. Okay, and then so there's the hip hop, there's the PR and marketing. Then there's events. Yes. Yeah. And before we actually came through to you, me and Mo were actually talking about the events part. How did that come about between the two of you?
We've always been people who are interested in creating our own events.
Yes.
We started like that. And then while we were still in Cape Town, there were some people who would hear about us that we threw such an event. And they would come to us, hey guys, we are planning to throw this type of event. Can you guys assist?
Yes.
So it became this word of mouth thing. So that's how it started. Even right now, we have an event that we run in Molapo. That's Central Jabavu, a hip hop event. So it's from the foundation up to now. We've built it from nothing.
Yeah.
It's called the Hip Hop Cult.
The Hip Hop Cult.
Yes.
Woo. Okay.
Yes.
Actually, I want us to talk also about that, especially these, there's these ideas of good hip hop and Illuminati and dark stuff and all of that, and then you come with hip hop cult. So we're gonna get into that. We're just gonna quickly just jab and make sure everything is fine and finalize our balls there, make sure they're bally enough, and then we'll be back after this. Yeah. Welcome back, guys. If you've been watching the past episodes, you know that every time when we cook, I get so focused into the dish that I forget to know a lot of things. But anyway, thank you so much for pulling through, like I said, and the balls are very ballsified. Do you cook at home, by the way?
I cook all the time. I'm a mother.
Of course.
all the time.
Yeah. Like I said, guys, the rice is already done. It's very cooked. Since I'm with a Costa lady today, In right again, Gok is ready. So what you can do now, you can add those balls into there.
All right.
Talking about while you're adding those balls, talking about being a mother. How is that? The hip hop culture and being a mother. How has that been? How is that for you?
Come again? Sorry.
The hip hop culture and being a female and a mother within the hip hop culture.
Actually, I think it comes effortlessly. You can juggle all that at the same time. You just need to manage your time. Everyone in my house is hip hop. So, and most places where they do hip hop events, they will let me come with my kids.
So wait, everybody in my house is hip hop.
Everyone.
How old is your child?
My son is he turned 4 last week.
Everybody in my house is hip hop. How? Explain yourself.
All right.
He's 4.
He's 4, bruh. Like that child. I think he was about 6 to 7 months old. I noticed that he was smart, and he used to go for my laptop all the time. And his dad would be scared that he's gonna mess it up. So I decided to teach him how to switch it on, how to navigate and go wherever he wants to go. And soon after that, he learned more stuff on his own. Now he's 4. He actually, by the age of 1, he was already computer literate.
Wow.
Age of 1.
Wow.
And when he had just turned 2, they invited him to a 40th birthday party to go play.
As in DJ?
Yeah, I've got clips of that.
Hopefully we can show you that. That's amazing.
I've got clips of that. And now he's 4. He's a producer. And he's actually the main reason we relocated.
Okay.
He's the main reason because we felt that we can't just chill in another province because everything happens in
opportunity, yes.
But everyone I wrote to hasn't come back to me.
Oh, it's like
so
that.
We created our own platform.
Yes. Before we went to the ad break, I wanted to ask your opinion on this whole idea of hip hop and being influenced by dark culture or by dark occults and Illuminati and Beyonce and.
I have to be honest because sometimes you don't want to sound too smart talking about something you don't know. I will tell you that I am hip hop, as I said, and I don't know much about Illuminati.
Yes.
I read Dan Brown's book, The Illuminati Thing, and I got an idea, but I personally don't know what that is about. Hip hop, from where I come from, hip hop is an art. You know, even your raps, they have to be art. You don't just, as opposed to what's happening now.
Yes.
There's no skill. There's no.
You're more than welcome to name names.
There's no flair. You know.
Yeah.
Like.
You're more than welcome to name.
It's actually funny.
Yeah.
It's actually funny because rap has always been about wordplay. It doesn't necessarily have to be English. Oh, I got an inbox yesterday from some guy who asked me earlier on. He inboxed me and said, "My sister, where can I see your music?" And then I sent him to where you can find my music. He came back today after a few weeks. He came back today and said, "My sister, you don't rap like Eugen."
Like who?
Like Eugen Black Rock.
Oh, yes.
He's like, my sister, you don't rap like Eugen.
Who's this Eugen Black Rock?
Eugen is a female rapper. She's dope, but she does, there's no but. Yeah, she does what is called dungeon. We know it is dungeon.
Yes.
You know?
So, wait, don't confuse me here. So there's underground, then there's dungeon.
Even dungeon is underground.
Oh, okay.
You know, but it's more of the style of hip hop. For me, mine leans more towards gangster rap.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's what I know. I'm from young.
Yes.
So my hip hop leans towards gangster rap and all that because I feel some people, there's more other rappers that will talk about Ramaphosa, you know. So I talk about what I know, and what I know is the violence.
So what's your idea, what's your thought behind gospel rap, taking into consideration the culture of hip hop or gospel hip hop?
If he can bring it well, let him bring it.
What are they bringing?
I mean, if he can create art out of his gospel.
Yes.
Because what we appreciate as heads, as hip hoppers, we are known as hip hop heads.
Yes.
What we appreciate is the art.
Yes.
You can come through, even now there's this mumble rap. Do you know that?
I've heard of mumble rap.
This thing, there's mumble rap, but I do appreciate they have a different beats from our beats, right? We have different types of beats, but I appreciate someone, let's say, who's gonna bring bars.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
That's who I listen to. If you bring bars, then I will listen to you. I will even give you a platform in one of my events.
Yes.
Even if you're doing that, but if you're bringing bars, there's some art in what you're doing. I seriously don't appreciate if you're gonna say, "Oh, I'm so hot, I boil like a cat." For instance, I used to make an example of two people. We had Tupac.
Yes.
He was a legend.
Yes.
We had Biggie Smalls, right?
Yes.
They were rivals, so that's what we knew. But people would ask me, how come you go for Biggie Smalls more than Tupac? Then this is how I would explain. Tupac will come and say, die. That's Tupac, right? Now, Biggie will come and say, there is going to be a lot of slow singing and flower bringing if my burglar alarm starts ringing.
Hey!
You get it?
Yeah.
So now you have to think, flower bringing, slow singing.
Death. Oh!
If
the
my
alarm
burglar...
rings.
So,
oh!
that's what I'm talking about.
All right. Wow, okay, I'm just so flabbergasted.
that's
Test that. Let me bring myself to you. Wow, okay.
To the moment.
Yeah. So, let's talk about the events that you and Mo do. The hip, how's that? I say I want a little bit of sugar, I don't know.
Yeah, I think we need to put a little bit of sugar and a little bit of the salty stuff.
Okay, all right.
I think.
Right. So yes, you're about to tell us about the events that you and Mo do.
Yeah, I think I already have in a nutshell.
No, the ones that happen on Thursday.
Right now we run a hip hop show called the Hip Hop Cup.
Yes.
With a dot, right? Is it a dot? Is it called a dot?
A full stop.
No, they don't call it that. There's something they call it in English. I don't know the word. But it's CULT, which means it's short for something, right?
Okay, yes.
CULT. It could be culture. It could be CULT. We left it to you to decide.
Oh, okay.
You get it? We wanted a catchy name.
Yes.
So the Hip Hop Cup runs every other Thursday, fortnightly. We give platform to boom bap niggas, boom bap rappers, mostly because we feel that these rappers are being overlooked and they are being, what's the right word? They are being suffocated.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
Because no one is trying.
Suffocated by the labels or just the listeners?
The labels, system.
Yeah. Ooh.
I think it's the system because who's powerful enough to kill a whole nation? It's like a genocide. Hip hop genocide.
Yeah.
So all the rappers that actually rap have been suppressed. No one is trying to book them. No one is trying to sign them.
Yes.
But if you come and you're doing some weak raps with some dope, bumpy, jumpy beats, then you can get signed. So our objective here is to create a platform for rappers who actually rap. So we have set the bar already. We have had the likes of TUG.
Yes.
It's a live band. It's a live hip hop band. And we have had Abzucadence. We have had Power of Thought. I don't know if you've ever heard of Power of Thought.
I was about to get to that. All of those names I've never heard of. The idea of the names behind hip hop artists, because it's never just. It's Abducate.
It's art. I told you it's art. It's all that is art. I am. Okay, I'm Uneek DaInsane. Okay.
Uneek DaInsane.
Yeah, DaInsane, as in.
Are you insane?
The crazy. Some may say so. Some may say so. I'm not really crazy, but some people would think that I am. I don't know if I should tell you. Some people would say I am, bruh. Like, I used to cut myself.
There is the darkness I wanted us to get to. Was that by choice? Was it because you... Actually, we're going to go into a quick ad break, and then when we come back, we're just going to talk a little, because right? Woo! Right, welcome back, guys. Nibonile, boku rough, but right. Are you ready to eat? Right, so as you can see, guys, we are joined here by Moses, who is the other half of Uneek, and yeah, we are about to eat now. In fact, this Moses and I were supposed to be the one cooking. Moses was like, right. So guys, let's dig in, and then you tell me how you feel about the food.
The food.
Yes,
Wow.
yes.
Wow.
They must watch us eat.
That was funny. That was not used to that.
Oh, this is good.
Yeah, but I should have gotten a spoon.
Why?
You can't eat with a fork.
No.
Unless
Unless I have to step something.
all right, okay. Please pass me that white spoon in there. That big square spoon in there. Yes.
I am so sorry.
Yeah,
I did
the big
say I
square,
can't eat.
square pool.
No, there's a spoon in there. No. Inside the glass, there's a white spoon. That's not a spoon.
Are you still shooting, bro?
Yes, let's
You
go.
shot that?
Come, darling. And then fly this away.
Can you see this?
Uneek, just never mind that. You are the only one who's
He's still
concentrating
shooting.
on that one.
There you
Yeah,
go.
she's the only person
There you go.
concentrating on that.
Keep this one.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Much better.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Speaking for the male species, how is it working with your other half?
For me, I enjoy it much better than working at an office. The fact that I can just say anything without fear or without anything. You know, when you're at work and you're afraid of the boss or the supervisor or just because sometimes she has much more of a decisive role, and sometimes we understand that we give each other that chance that, okay, listen, if you're doing management on this, if you're doing this on this, and then obviously you have the leading role, you will have the final say on this and this and that, but we understand each other quite well. I think we work very well together.
That's amazing. Your views on the current female MCs that are out here now, the young ones, as a female yourself.
Who do I know first? Let me think.
Nadia
Do I
Nakai,
know any?
Nomuzi, Nadia Nakai.
Nadia Nakai, yeah, I know them. I don't know much about them. I know Musli.
Yeah.
I know Nadia Nakai, but I don't really know.
Like judging from their work.
Wow, I believe they make things happen. Whoever makes things happen for them, or if they're doing it for themselves, they're making things happen. It's just, I don't want to sound like a hater.
Speak your truth. Speak your truth.
But it's just that I still feel, I don't know how Nadia Nagai raps. Isn't she the one they said raps like me?
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say you rap like Nadia.
Oh, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one.
But can I budge in quickly with something?
Yes.
Just to remind you, they were having like this long argument last week. It's her and Gigi Lamaine. It's actually not even about music. And they were going at it, and Gigi would send like 7-8 messages on Twitter.
Yeah.
And then she would
Reply.
answer. And I don't even think Gigi was aware who Uneek is in the hip hop game.
Oh, right.
It was something outside of hip hop because I had organized this cleaning up of Jabulani Mall. Apparently, a few guys that I was working with got ahead of me, but it's fine. So when we were doing the cleanup, Gigi rocked up and she was cleaning as well. Nabokabelo Mabalani and all of them, right? And I know she got into it on Twitter with her. I think she raised a statement that all these rappers and all these celebrities were at the Jabulani Mall, but they were there for pictures and all that type of stuff. And so she raised it up. And Gigi came in storming like, no, do not judge. I was actually cleaning and I actually bought food and I did this and this and that. And they were actually answering each other. What was quite interesting to me when I was watching that is that Gigi doesn't know. Gigi, I think, somewhat got into the games in this way. She won 2014 or 2013. Actually, she was in the finals. She was one of the finalists on the 2014, I think, or is it 2013? 2013.
That AKA
Sprite Uncontainable.
Oh, yeah.
There's a huge event that Sprite does called the Uncontainable. So she was the finalist, the first female rapper in the finals.
Yes.
And the 2014 Uneek was the first,
the only female nationally
with the final on the finals. So they were both on the finals, and she was on the 2013. And Uneek was on the 2014, and it was quite significant. Oh, these ladies are arguing, and they're not even arguing about hip hop, and they didn't even know. The other one doesn't know the other one raps. Okay, she knows that Gigi raps, but Gigi didn't know that Uneek is a rapper and what.
Let me ask you this: would you compare the fight Uneek had with Gigi to the fights that we have known or we know of between Mega and Mufasa?
Not really. Not by a long shot.
What's the difference?
I think the difference is with them, it was just purely honesty, and they don't even know each other, and it was just
Uneek and
yes. With them, it was just something simple, and unlike hip hop things. Some of them are staged though, but okay, let's say hypothetically they were not staged.
Male or female, this is for both of you, doesn't have to be the same. Male or female, who's the hottest now? Lyrics, production, cover art. Well, we can't say performance because I'm in lockdown, but those.
Okay, you can go first. Male or female? Is this strict to South Africa?
Anyway, let's do both. Because you can't, yeah.
I think if I have to utenga iskele I would buy it for Upoid.
Yes, even though it's just those two songs.
Yeah, I would buy it for Upoid. Give her credit.
Not because
she ticks all the boxes. You know, as far as what you mentioned, production, whatever, she has it all.
Yeah.
You know, I think Boiti, and she raps better than most. She raps like she's been rapping for a while.
Yeah, shout out to Nasty C.
Yeah, and I was about to mention that, but I almost said Nasty C, but Nasty C is the obvious choice, you know, for everyone, I guess.
Yeah,
you know. So yeah, I would say Boiti. Boiti is okay.
Really?
Okay, for me, I would probably want to say if I'm getting away from. That's funny. That is funny. Okay, okay. For South Africa, I want to say Stoogie.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, if I would say Proverb, but Proverb is not as active anymore.
Handles. Where can people find you on social media?
I'm Uneek DaInsane everywhere. I'm Uneek DaInsane everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, SoundCloud, Facebook, what else?
TikTok,
everywhere.
Uneek
YouTube,
Insane.
Yeah, but on YouTube we are DaInsane Fam. So everything of ours is on
together on YouTube.
DaInsane Fam. Yeah, so that's where I'm at.
Okay. And for you?
And me, it's Moses DaInsane. That's probably everywhere. It's like Moses DaInsane, Moses space DaInsane. That's everywhere. SoundCloud, Facebook, Twitter. I'm there. Trust me, I'm there.
Moses did mention that there's a project that he's also working on. Are you also on the same project? Do you also have other projects on the side that you're doing?
We are actually working on a project together. I'm also working on a solo project. He's also working on a solo project. So I believe it's 3 projects going at the same time.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Thank you so much for taking part. Remember, it's @that_T show on all social media, and also right here on YouTube. We are the Table Talk with uSiboniso, one word. Thank you so much, guys. Like us, subscribe on our show, and make sure you press that notification bell so that you can know whenever we introduce new content. Thank you so much. Remember, it's every Sunday. Make sure you check us out every Sunday. That's when we upload our new shows. But you can always, like I say, engage with us on social media. Also, for other professional industry people that want to come in and share their thoughts with us, you are more than welcome. DM us. We'll head back to you. We are still waiting for that chef, guys. We're still waiting for that chef who's going to come and grace our kitchen and take a run at it. Thank you so much. Also, this week, I am not going to have a thought of the day. So many events happening, so that we can also provide you with quality sound and quality pictures. We are going to end the show for here. This has been our 3rd episode. Thank you guys so much. Hopefully we see you again on our 4th, on our 5th, on our 6th, on our 7th, on our 8th, on our 9th, on our 10th, on our 11th, on our 12th, on our 13th, on our 14th, on our 15th, on our 16th.